And his Thursday Throwback Story is a scary Thursday Throwback Story that's actually taken place in the summer of 2015. This was 10 years ago. So it's been 10 years since this scary story has happened. And his story is about the Dannemora prison escape. Two inmates from Dannemora prison, Dannemora Federal, Dannemora Correctional Facility in Dannemora, New York, which is actually not that far from me, escaped back in 2015. This was David Sweat and Richard Matt. Now, they both escaped through a lot of basically getting help from the outside. That's how they kind of escaped. They actually got uh, the lady that helped them escape, Joyce Mitchell. She helped them escape. I think she was like a former guard or something like that. And I guess she was having a relationship with one of the inmates. I think like a on and off relationship or something like that. And this whole big news story, everything, everybody from basically around the world came over here and was doing news stories. Like everybody from across the country, from NBC, CBS, CNN, Fox, everybody basically. We even had Dog the Bounty Hunter up here for a brief time, and then he got lost in the woods because he didn't really know this area. He was actually over in Malone, and but anyway, so everybody was here, and it wasn't really a good thing for the area. But things like this happen, when you have a prison, but they shouldn't happen. But so Dannemora is probably about an hour for me. I would say maybe an hour. I don't know, something like that. No, I don't think it's an hour. It's not quite an hour, but it's almost an hour away from me. But it's kind of close. So anyway, Richard Matt and David Sweat basically went through a hole in the wall that they created, and they went through like a system of like pipes or whatever. It was made for them. The pipes were big enough for them to crawl through, and they went through the sewer, like a sewer opening or whatever. And I remember watching the news. I was watching a local news station. I was watching. I was like, "What the heck?" And it was actually really scary. I remember really getting like anxiety and everything because I was like, "What if they could go anywhere here in this state? They could be in anybody's backyard. They could have been anywhere in the state." So I was always like frantic. I was always checking the locks and everything, checking the doors to see if they were shut, making sure everything was locked up at night and everything, because I was really scared. And this actually taken place basically almost 2 months. This actually was like a manhunt for about 2 months. It was from early June of 2015 to maybe early July, almost August, but it was early July when it wrapped up. So we had the police, we had everybody basically. We had even Vermont State Sheriffs over here, Vermont State Police over here. We had everybody searching for these inmates. And a lot of people started to make these claims that they saw them and everything. And of course, there was an award money out. I think it was like, I don't know if it was quite $1 million, but it was close to $1 million, I think, or something like that. So everybody started to look. Everybody started to say, "Oh, there was this guy down the street that looked just like him," or "There's this guy over there that looked just like him." And I remember there was cops everywhere. I was in school at the time too, and there was cops at the school. Because of security purposes and everything. Because like I said, they could have been anywhere. They could have been in any school. They could have been hiding any school. They could have been hiding in any store around here. They could have been anywhere. So I remember everywhere there was a cop, basically. And I remember going to Plattsburgh with my father and stepmother and kind of being scared because I was like, they could be in any car. They could have been anywhere. I was like, in my mind, I was like, I was like frantic and I was very scared to go anywhere because I was like, they could be anywhere. And who knows if they would do like a situation where they would, take a person and they would make them as like I don't know what you would say, like a bribe or something. So I was like scared about that too. That's what I thought in my head. They were going to do something like that because these guys were very violent criminals. They weren't that good people. They were very violent criminals. Um, but as soon as I heard the news a couple weeks later that I kind of had like a good feeling that when Dog Bounty Hunter came up here, I had like, oh, he's gonna find them because I knew Dog was like, like I said, he actually did get lost in the woods, and he got help from some people that helped him out of the woods or whatever. But he did get lost up here because this wasn't his area. He wasn't around. Uh, he wasn't aware of this area, so he was kind of lost in the woods. But before that, I thought, maybe he could find them too because he's always found criminals, that were hiding and stuff. So I was like kind of relieved that he was coming up here. That was my prediction. My mom was thinking I was like joking around. I was like, yeah, maybe Dog Bounty Hunter would come up here and try to search for them and everything. And he did, but he got lost in the woods. He wasn't able to find them. He didn't find them at all. He wasn't even close to finding them. But he was trying to help out as much as he could. And yeah, so everywhere, and it wasn't just up here. It was like every state was searching for them too because they could go anywhere. Canada, Mexico, they could go to anywhere. So a lot of states and even Mexico and Canada were aware of the escapees from Dannemora federal prison or whatever they call it. Forgot what it's called, but so yeah, until July when I started to hear that they were captured, I was like, I think one of them passed away or something. I don't know. I think so. I think it was Richard Matt. I think they captured him and he wasn't willing to comply. So, but David Sweat they captured, and I think David Sweat somewhere is downstate now. He's nowhere up here anymore because he's not trusted. He's in like a really maximum security prison where he can't have any where's to get out. So, but yeah, it's all because of one lady, and well, one lady and a couple other people that were found guilty of helping these prisoners escape. And but nothing has happened since then, which is good. I believe Joyce Mitchell's also in a prison somewhere. I don't know if she's still in prison. I think she uh, might be out by now, but I don't think she doesn't work for any. Actually, she's ruined her career basically. She might be able to work for a gas station, but uh, since she's done that, that's basically ruined her career for basically anything. So yeah, so she, but this was a very scary situation back in 2015. I remember very scared about this situation because, like I said, they could have been anywhere. That's what the police said as well. They could have been anywhere. So everybody was advised to keep their doors locked at night and to look out, not not apprehend them or anything, and not try to tell them that they're on their arrest or whatever, but to look out for them and then call the police if they see them. But a lot of people were making fake claims and everything, I remember, because there was a lot of money out for them. I think, like I said, there was almost $1 million, or might have been $1 million or so out for them, and I remember, uh, yeah, I didn't really care about the money. I wanted them found because I was like very scared of the situation and everything. But anyway, this is a very scary story from 2015, and if you remember the story, like this was national news basically. This was everywhere. So if you remember the story, leave a comment below. Peace.